Just 2 days ago, 91 protesters were arrested here in front of the Graduate Life Center on Virginia Tech's campus while advocating for Palestinian liberation. During the standoff between the crowd and the police, we interviewed several people to try and better understand what happened that day. Protesters like Mohammed El-Abbasi have unique perspectives on these Virginia Tech protests as members of the local Muslim community.
So I came out first and foremost for the sake of God. Because God tells us in the Quran to stand on the side of justice, may it be against yourselves or against your relatives. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I came out today, inshallah, hoping to stand on the side of justice.
Here is what Mohammed sees as the justice they are fighting for.
I hope first and foremost that some sort of ceasefire happens, and the ideal thing and the ultimate goal is that the land is given back to its rightful people of Palestine.
While there were hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters there that would agree, a much smaller handful of pro-Israeli protesters were there and had a very different view on what justice looked like.
I think it's silly. They have a list of demands. Not one of them has Hamas leadership stepping down. That's the only way Palestine will be free. They need to lose Hamas leadership, and then Palestine can be free.
Mohammed previously had this to say on that very same topic.
You know, he's talking about the hostages. Right? In the West Bank, there's no Hamas. In the West Bank, they're still barricaded. They're still being killed in the West Bank. Before Hamas was created, there was the 1938 massacre, the 1939 massacre, and numerous other massacres have happened, and Hamas was not existent.
Many observers were there to support the students in a variety of ways, like medics such as Lauren Canary.
Mainly first aid. I'm a fourth-year medical student. I graduate next week, actually. Just wanted to make sure we had anything we needed on site for any potential emergent injuries, especially if EMTs couldn't get here right away. We've got a lot of saline. We weren't sure if pepper spray would be deployed. We had saline for eye flushing, wound care if needed.
Lauren had been staying at the location for a day before any arrests occurred, and had seen the situation deteriorate into the current tense standoff.
Yeah, it seems like as the police have escalated everything, there's definitely been more observers. Everything was so peaceful all weekend. I was joking with my colleagues that it was like summer camp first aid. But since the cops have come, there's a lot more injuries. They've let me, when there's been a few folks who needed medical care while they were being detained, they let me come and evaluate them, thankfully. So appreciate that, so we can kind of work together.
Unfortunately, the police were not always quite so cooperative with the medical professionals there to help.
We've got some folks that are willing to risk arrest that have been on the inside. One medic did get arrested pretty early on tonight, unfortunately. She clearly labeled medic on her attire. So unfortunately, we're down one medic on the inside. We've just got one, and they've been kind of looking for any medical emergencies and bringing people out to us for more care here.
The sit-in continued in another form, with protesters sitting unmolested in the grass for the next 2 days, right across from where 92 protesters were arrested. Virginia Tech continues to have no current plans to divest in corporations involved with Israel, the first demand of protesters at last week's encampment. I've been Alex Huber-LaBeouf reporting to you from Virginia Tech.